Originally when you wrote the script, I did die.
I was very torn about it. When I wrote Alice and she died, I thought it was very emotional. But I have to say, with the ending we now have, it's just as emotional as if you had died, if not more so. And also, I think it's satisfying for an audience. I think for people who've been following you for 15 years and following your struggle, I think to actually kill you at the end would have kind of been a bit of a slap in the face.
Alicia's memory lens was definitely an interesting element to bring in. Great idea.
The amount of emotion that added was tremendous. It's one of the scenes that I'm most proud of.
You are now free of infection.
I thought I would die.
It's the childhood that you never have, combined with the woman she could never become. I mean, that's the moment where even as a British person, I'm like, ah, that's really emotional.
When I was doing that scene, to imagine what we were going to use, to imagine our daughter, to imagine everything we've gone through in the last 15 years, these movies, everything coming to a close, I mean, it was definitely a very emotional moment for me as well. We used a lot of our own footage for that.
For me, it was a wonderful opportunity to be forced by the movie for us to sit for a couple of half days and go through all of our archives and dig out all of this footage of Eva growing up, her as a little baby, birthday parties. Because we'd originally kind of mocked all that in with just stock footage of kind of random children, and it was good. But when we replaced it and you recognized Eva and you recognized Alicia Marcus and the Red Queen, I remember when I was watching you and you were kind of tearing up as these memories kind of flooded in, I immediately thought about the funeral scene that we'd shot with Eva, where she's standing there with Ian Glenn and she looks up at him and she starts to cry, which had been a huge moment for me because I'm like, she's delivering a really fine performance here. That kind of emotion that she was giving, combined with what you were doing with the memories, I really knew at that point that this was a new kind of emotional high for a Resident Evil movie. And I think it's all about kind of bringing Alice's story to a satisfying conclusion. The woman who has no memories finally has memories. The woman who didn't know anything about her identity discovers some very unpleasant things about it, but actually comes to terms with that.